This will likely be the second greatest thing of Russell Wilson's career. The first greatest being drafted to the Seahawks, winning a Super Bowl. This trade will likely be the second best thing to happen to Russell Wilson's football career. Peyton Manning left the Colts, went to the Broncos, won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady left the Patriots, went to the Bucks, won a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford left the Lions, went to the Rams, won a Super Bowl. If none of them regretted their departure, I do not see Russell Wilson regretting his departure. Russell Wilson will likely at least be able to go contend for another Super Bowl in Denver, the second best thing to ever happen to Russell Wilson's football career. We got to keep in mind who Russell Wilson is.
Who is he?
Russell Wilson is a quarterback that had no losing seasons in a season in which he does not get injured. Russell Wilson is a quarterback that kept the Seattle Seahawks afloat. He's a quarterback who led the team in rushing a season while he also led the team in passing during the same season. Russell Wilson is a quarterback who is a perennial winner. Russell Wilson is a quarterback who's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Russell Wilson is the ultimate leader of men and galvanizer on a football field. Let's put some respect on Russell Wilson's name. Russell Wilson is a quarterback who was drafted in the third round, was not supposed to start because the Seattle Seahawks had at that time given Matt Flynn an unheralded contract. Matt Flynn, former quarterback for the Packers, goes to Seattle, supposed to be the starter because of how much they paid him. And Russell Wilson, he took that job from Matt Flynn, instantly becomes a starter. After taking that job from Matt Flynn and instantly becoming a starter, a year later, he is instantly in a Super Bowl. Like, this is who Russell Wilson is. Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl champion, a two-time Super Bowl attender. To put all of this in context, Aaron Rodgers is the second greatest news of today, if not the biggest news of today. And even Rodgers has only attended one Super Bowl, y'all. And Rodgers has played significantly longer than Russell Wilson. Now, you can argue that winning and losing isn't a quarterback stat, but I would submit it actually is exactly that. Because it's not just about Russell, it's not just about Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is obviously dominant. And y'all let me know if we have the full screen ready or if we do not. But what Russell Wilson can do with Pete Carroll is more than what Pete Carroll could do without Russell Wilson. Look at Russ with Pete Carroll. 104, 53, and 1. Look at Pete Carroll without Russell Wilson, 15 and 20. For everybody who wants to say winning and losing is not a quarterback stat, I will hear you. I don't agree with you, but I'll definitely lend my ear to you. But what I know is this much. If Russell Wilson is on the field, the Seattle Seahawks were winning. If Russell Wilson is not on the field, the Seattle Seahawks were losing. So as I look at it, Russell Wilson is going to be the key component for the Denver Broncos' success. Marcellus, Wiley, one of my favorite things you say, and I say a lot of these things.
You say that a lot. How many favorites you got?
You got about 5 to 10. 5 to 10 favorites.
That's a range.
But
that's double.
Here's one of my favorite. Everywhere you go,
there you are?
There you are.
There you are.
Everywhere you go, there you are. What Sel means when he says that is like, you can't run from you.
Ooh, say it again.
You can't. For better or for worse, you can't run from you. That drama you running from is coming with you.
Hey, girl.
That success you running from is coming with you.
What it do?
Everywhere you go, there you are. Everywhere Russell Wilson goes, there he is. And everywhere Russell Wilson is gone, he's a winner. So if Russell Wilson goes to Denver and everywhere you go, there you are, Denver is about to be winning. Russell Wilson will not regret leaving Seattle.
Don't see, I hate you. Because I listened to you long enough and I start to get some ammunition to fight. Yeah, but you quoted me in a context that I wouldn't have quoted myself. Now I'm over here sitting there writing a couple of notes. I got to get to that everywhere you go, huh? All right, let me give you my take first, because this is big news. Let's not play. He won't regret leaving Seattle. He won't regret leaving them, except he's going to regret. He's just lost his little slogan, his little mantra. You go Hawks, now figure out one for Denver. Go. Go Broncos, sucks. Go Bronx, sucks. He ain't got one, right? So he's going to have to figure out another signature. Yeah, you need a new signature. Other than that, he is happy. Woo! Why is Russell Wilson happy? Because in his mind, he got out before the demise. He got out before everything crumbled. Now, things were going downhill and going downhill fast, and Russell Wilson started to realize that, one, because of his injury, but two, because of the lack of production as a collective. This team started to look like a team that couldn't compete. And then all of a sudden you have some issues with Russell Wilson and on the sideline, Russell Wilson and upstairs. And Russell Wilson said, let me get out before it all crumbles down. A lot of people talk about what are the ingredients to success. Let's talk about how Russell Wilson is dreaming of success and maybe realizing it very soon in Denver. A lot of people talk about it, persistence and passion and all that stuff. I think it boils down to two key elements. One, competence. You got to be capable of getting the job done. As you said yesterday, and I really liked it, you got to be competent enough. You don't have to be the most competent. Just there's a certain bar that you have to cross and threshold and be competent enough. Russell Wilson does exceed in competence. But more importantly, what doesn't get highlighted is interest. Anything you can talk about, any of our topics, especially our racy topics, always put into the equation the competence level and their interest level in what we're talking about. Let's talk about with Russell Wilson and now the Denver Broncos. He's been competent. Even in Seattle, he was a competent player, even last year. But was he interested? Was he interested in the culture? Was he interested in the collective? Was he interested in the coaching staff and their future projections? Was he interested in how upstairs and management was seeing this organization 2-5 years down the line? When you start to lose interest, when you start to wane in interest, all of a sudden everything starts to suffer. And more importantly, you start to highlight the issues around you. Russell Wilson now goes to a situation where he brings his competence, but now he reignites, the word you were looking for in the beginning. He reignites his interest. Dog, every relationship you've been in, it's about competence. All right, you're a good person, good character, look the part, act the part, we are all there. But then interest. Those little things, right? You know damn well she wants you to get up and get her another glass of that Kool-Aid. But you're going to sit there and act like you're really enamored with the game so much you just couldn't get up. But when you're interested, oh, baby, you need anything? Yeah, she knows she got you. Russell Wilson knows he got himself in a situation where now he can balance the scales of competence and interest.
I love it. And let me piggyback on that. Here's what people have to be reminded of and what I don't think enough people are talking about. For the first time in Russell Wilson's career, I think he's going to be happy.
Okay.
And I don't talk about surface-level happiness. For the first time in Russell Wilson's career, he's going to have a head coach that's offensive-minded. Bruh, Russell Wilson has been trying to cook for the last half-decade. Pete Carroll has, to some degree, said, okay, we'll let you, but that's not the crux of Pete Carroll's success. Pete Carroll's a defensive-minded coach. Russell Wilson now going to join forces with Nathaniel Hackett, an offensive mind. Russell Wilson, an offensive player. Nathaniel Hackett, an offensive mind. Think of the offensive brilliance that will come out of that. Quick history lesson. Denver Broncos went to the Super Bowl, could not get over the hump with John Fox as their head coach. John Fox, remember everyone, a defensive mind.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos move on. John Fox, Gary Kubiak. Next thing you know, they are continuing to set NFL offensive records. Peyton Manning, 55 touchdowns in a season. Maybe the most prolific offense we have seen in the 2000s. And the Broncos go on to win a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning, a phenomenal, brilliant offensive player, coupled with a phenomenal and brilliant offensive mind in Gary Kubiak, and now you saw a Super Bowl. Vic Fangio was the Broncos' former head coach. Phenomenal mind, but a defensive mind.
Okay.
Defensive mind doesn't necessarily always work well with a great offensive player and a great offensive quarterback. The trends of success right now in the NFL, great quarterback, brilliant offensive mind. Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, quarterback, offensive mind. Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, brilliant quarterback, brilliant offensive mind. When you talk about the teams that were in the playoffs this past season, when you talk about the teams that were in the conference championships this past season, Zach Taylor, Bengals, offensive mind. Sean McVay, offensive mind. Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo, offensive minds, offensive minds, offensive minds everywhere. Russell Wilson finally being coupled with someone who naturally appreciates him in Nathaniel Hackett. It is a match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven, huh? Okay, you know me. I don't do the kumbaya too well. I got to balance these scales. Every coin, you got to flip it. It's a heads and there's a tails. Same value, but heads and tails. Let's flip this on his head a little bit because it's not kumbaya. Russell Wilson has to go into a situation where they're jaded at the quarterback position. They've had the highest of highs. They had John Elway, my favorite player growing up, him and Eric Dickerson. They had Peyton Manning, and they got two different Peyton Mannings. Yep. They got the one they were like, fit that double nickels? Double nickels? I see you, Peyton, after 4 neck surgeries? Eat. And then they were like, oh, Peyton, make our decision easy for us, can you? You know, that forced retirement. So that happened all on their watch. They also got tricked. They got fooled. Drew Lock, Chad Kelly, Paxton Lynch. Wasn't Brock Osweiler there too? Point being, here's the thing. If you look at the Denver Broncos, they're expecting it all. Can he deliver on it? Of course. Tom Brady just did it. We saw Matthew Stafford do it. Russell Wilson, he's cut from the same cloth, so yeah, he could do it. But here's the thing. Is it in him to do it? Everywhere you go, there you are, right? Russell Wilson gets drafted to a team and overachieves immediately. Instant success to the point where you're going to take a money man out of his position and Matt Flynn as a third rounder. Okay, now you're protected because this defense is number one.
Yes, sir.
This running game is number one.
Yes, sir.
And Russell Wilson, we're going to allow you to grow. Now, we saw you blossom to a position where all of a sudden the defense was like, hey, in personality and hey, in terms of leadership and even some production, we got a problem here, man. This is not adding up like it used to. And so they placed a bet on Russell Wilson. They placed a bet. An organization, one of 32, placed a bet on you, Russell Wilson. How did that bet play out? Not so well. They were better off when Russell Wilson wasn't the highest paid, when he wasn't the man, when he wasn't trying to cook, correct? Now, Grandma told me a long time ago, baby, don't bet on quitters, right? He's not a quitter.
Where you going, Sal? Where you going with this?
I'm going to, he level 2, though. He close. He can go back to level 1 if he wants to. Don't bet on runners either. People who run from adversity. Russell Wilson had one losing season in Seattle, and all of a sudden it's a wrap. I don't know what he said to push the detonating button that said, this is it, boom, I got to go, or what they said. But the point is, all those winning seasons, Super Bowl championship, Super Bowl appearance, we let you cook, we let you be the guy, and all of a sudden now, one losing season and one injury-filled season, because remember, he had started every single game up to that point, you got to go.
Got to.
He has to go, or we have to get rid of him. The point being, I wonder the mental makeup of Russell Wilson when it's going to get exposed, and it's only going to be revealed in adversity. So far, he's not a quitter, but he's certainly a runner.
He's not. Well, he ain't nothing but a runner outside the football field.
What'd you say?
He's
Say it
not
again?
a runner of anything except when defensive linemen are chasing himself. You only have one career. And what we all know is this. 4 years in college is a long time.
Oh.
Right? If I was like, hey, Sal, go back to do 4 years at Columbia again, you'd be like, oh.
Go back?
I have to, yeah. Go do 4 years. 4 years is a long time.
Hold on.
Russell Wilson hasn't seen success for Seattle, that Super Bowl level success, in 7 going on 8 years now.
Whose fault is that?
2 entire college stints.
Whose fault is that, y'all?
Definitely not Russell Wilson's fault.
Oh, my mic on?
It's definitely not. Here's why we know it's not Russell Wilson's fault.
It's Dak's fault in Dallas, but it ain't his fault.
We don't give Russ enough credit. The reason I say this, there was a life before Russell Wilson for Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was a great college coach and a phenomenal NFL coach. But without Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll and the Seahawks were 7-9. And 7-9. Richard Sherman got drafted before Russ. Earl Thomas got drafted before Russ. Cam Chancellor got drafted before Russ. Walter Thurman got drafted before Russ. The entire Legion of Boom was drafted before Russell Wilson.
What was Lynch mom?
And the Seahawks were 7-9.
What was Lynch?
Twice.
Yeah, he ain't going there.
Russell Wilson shows up, and the Seahawks are instantaneously 11-5 from 7-9. And then the following year, they're 13-3, and they win the Super Bowl. So everybody who wants to take credit away from Russell Wilson and give it all to the Legion of Boom, give the Legion of Boom a lot of it, but don't give them all of it now.
Yeah, of course.
Because Russell Wilson showed up and took that 7-9 team to 2 consecutive Super Bowls. So to me, let's give respect to Russ because Russ is due respect. He didn't run from anything. What Russell Wilson said is this: I'm going to run to an opportunity. Seattle, y'all are in disarray. Pete Carroll, you're 70 years old. You ain't got time for a rebuild. We haven't had a running back since Marshawn left. Keep in mind, Marshawn retired, and we were so desolate at the running back position that we had to beg him to come out of retirement so we could try to make a playoff run. Yeah, I got receivers, but as much as I have receivers, I make my receivers great. Why do I say that?
DK Metcalf,
Let's go history lesson. Tyler Lockett was supposed to be a special teams ace coming out of Kansas State as a third-round receiver. Tyler Lockett having 200 yards in a game. Tyler Lockett having 15 catches in a game. Let's go history lesson. Golden Tate. Golden Tate went on to the New York Giants, went on to the Detroit Lions, and didn't make too much noise. Let's go history lesson. What was our guy?
Can't help you.
Stanford.
I can't help you.
Doug
I know
Baldwin.
it. Yeah.
Let's go history lesson. Doug Baldwin.
Good dude.
With Russell Wilson, turned into a multiple-time Pro Bowler. Let's go history lesson. What's our guy number 83 who unfortunately had to get carted off the field, I think, playing the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah,
like, the fact of the matter is Russell Wilson made makes all of these receivers greater than we ever thought they were going to be, and he makes their team greater than we ever thought they were going to be. Ricardo Lockett. So when I'm talking about the entire history of the Seattle Seahawks, Russ makes everybody better. So he gonna go to Denver, and he gonna make everybody better.
Ooh, you strong right now. You strong right now. He didn't make this team better because the team was better when he wasn't Russell Wilson, when he was just Russ. We was a little, hey, Russ, go get the chicken and donuts. You know that guy. Remember him, youngster? Yeah, go get that for us, huh? And then all of a sudden he starts saying, y'all go get it for us. We ain't won a Super Bowl since. Russell Wilson start dictating orders around here. So as much as you making names and household names out of these players, congratulations, Russell. Add it up, Russell. Make it add up, Russell. Oh, you can't. And this is why I call him a runner now. See, at first he was under indictment for being a runner. But now I'm going to convict his ass because of the way you talking. This ain't his first year of trying to dip. Like, he gone now. But last year, and I don't know, like you were Ricardo Lockett, I can't remember necessarily, was the Denver Broncos on that list? You trying to go anywhere, dog. You thirsty. Now, not only is there a runner, he thirsty. I just need it. I just got to go somewhere where they got a little bit of a receiving court. You got one in Seattle. No. I need to run a game over there, too. Well, if they stay healthy in Seattle, better defense. Oh, they ain't got that in Seattle the same. That third-ranked scoring defense in Denver looks attractive. But the point is, you are on a quest to go somewhere better, but you're not in the same mindset and mission to make what you have better. I hate when people are like that. No, what you mean? I'm in a relationship where this comes up all the time.
He's doing everything he can.
Be where your feet are and make the grass greener on your side. He did. How did it turn green?
As green as it possibly could.
Saying who?
Everybody else and their mama in Russell Wilson's house was walking on the grass. If I'm watering the grass, if I'm sowing the soil, if I'm planting the seeds, and then you walk out the front door and step right on the grass that I just watered, don't tell me keep watering. I got to go to another lawn.
That's real. But don't lie. Don't get up here and do broadcaster stuff. When you're growing up and you saw wet concrete, then you hit that thing up a couple times, grab that pen, hit your fingers in there.